Monica, the boss of X or Twitter, Elon Musk, is in a brawl with Britain's Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, who I must say is acting like a weak man trying to be strong during this crisis.
Elon Musk has just delivered the final blow to Keir Starmer's political career, which was already on the brink of collapse. In a live televised confrontation, the tech billionaire didn't hesitate to unleash a series of sharp criticisms, leaving Starmer visibly flustered. This could very well be the end of his political ambitions in the upcoming election. Stay tuned for this dramatic development, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next disaster from Starmer.
Starmer tweeted, "We will not tolerate attacks on mosques or on Muslim communities," to which Musk quite reasonably replied, "Shouldn't you be concerned about attacks on all communities?" Isn't Musk right? Hasn't he put a finger on something that's angering the anti-immigration rioters who talk about two-tier police?
Have you seen what he posted on Twitter? The content he shared only highlights the severe drop in his support. It's ridiculous that Starmer made a statement solely focused on defending a specific group, while deliberately ignoring the broader issues affecting all other communities. This is the kind of two-faced politics disguised as moral and protecting rights that masks underlying discrimination. Musk pointed out the issue logically and directly, but does Starmer have the courage to face reality? His flowery words can't hide his failure to address the immigration issue, where public anger has been simmering for a long time. Clearly, Starmer cares more about polishing his own image than genuinely tackling the deep-rooted societal conflicts. This attitude is not only irresponsible, but also undermines public trust. This explains why those protesting against immigration are so furious. Being labelled racist or stubborn only makes their frustration build up like a pressure cooker that's been left on for too long. And as we saw last week, that pressure cooker finally exploded, causing unpredictable consequences.
We've seen with Keir Starmer's response, as well as the mainstream media in the UK, is this guilt that gets thrust upon white people who are historically perceived to have privilege, and therefore no, it can't possibly be the fault of ethnic minorities or migrants. It's this perception of unconscious bias, therefore it's easy. It's so easy and safe for Keir Starmer.
Starmer and the mainstream media are clearly playing the blame game, casting white people as the scapegoats for all of society's ills. This isn't just hypocrisy, but a blatant display of disguised discrimination, deliberately dividing communities. Instead of addressing the issue fairly, Starmer chooses to promote a biased mindset, sowing division and undermining social cohesion.
It's so easy and safe for Keir Starmer to take that safe route and not say we need to look after all communities. It's just all about the migrant communities. And you can't just lump everybody into this far-right category when there are so many people who are genuinely concerned about the state of migration, which has clearly failed in the UK.
Starmer continues to show weakness and cowardice by choosing the easy path, ignoring other communities in favour of pandering to migrants. The failure of immigration policy in the UK is as clear as day, yet instead of confronting it, Starmer deliberately divides by labelling concerned citizens as far-right. This is not just incompetence, it's an irresponsible attitude that seriously harms social unity. Truly, he is the worst Prime Minister in history.
Back here in Australia, but our leaders are so scared of being called racist that it's just easy for them to take the safe route, which is what we're seeing with Keir Starmer.
Starmer is not only weak, but also manipulative, choosing to avoid reality, more afraid of facing criticism than having the courage to tackle the issues. His approach is nothing more than weather-vane leadership, both irresponsible and lacking in resolve. It's this attitude that has deepened the divisions within society, while urgent issues remain unresolved and ignored. Elon Musk's sudden involvement in British politics has caused a major shock in Westminster, with all eyes now on this significant shift.
But two, that he wants and has always wanted a massive clampdown on migration, and that seems to actually be a kind of lock with a good percentage of our country. And actually, I expect Boris to come back actually in a couple of years. He would do a deal with Farage in a heartbeat, right? Because he doesn't really believe in anything. And then you'd have a total right enormously right and powerful. So I expect him to benefit. The question really, whether Musk turns out to be right, is whether the Tories manage to get their act together.
The tech mogul's harsh criticism of the UK's approach to free speech has sparked a fiery debate. Musk didn't hesitate to call the country a police state, a statement that directly contradicts the UK government's firm argument that social media regulations are necessary to protect public safety. So what prompted such a strong reaction from Musk? It seems the billionaire's attention was drawn to a series of high-profile arrests related to social media posts. Notably, a woman in Liverpool was arrested for sharing a meme about a transgender activist, and a teenager in Scotland was charged for posting offensive comments about Captain Tom Moore. Musk views these incidents as clear evidence of the decline in free speech rights in the UK.
And at that, Labour will be thrown out in the same way as they were thrown in.
Well, just before you come in, I just want to tell everyone, in case you're not familiar with this, what those approval ratings look like. So it was 11. It was basically a peak of 11 in July.
Right. OK, so let's begin with Elon Musk. I mean, this is the man who predicted civil war. So I don't take Elon Musk's predictions very seriously. And actually, he thinks it will only be Nigel Farage.
It slumped to minus 38 in October. It then went to minus 30 and then hit minus 25.
The UK government considers its online safety bill essential to protect vulnerable users and prevent harmful content. However, critics, including Musk, view it as a dangerous abuse of power that could directly threaten the right to legitimate free speech. The tension between security concerns and freedom of speech is at the heart of the current debate. Data clearly shows that the UK's internet freedom ranking has significantly declined in recent years. Currently, the country ranks behind both the United States and several other European nations in global freedom indices. This decline coincides with a series of new policies introduced to control online speech, from the Investigatory Powers Act to the Online Safety Bill. Musk's comments have had a massive international impact. As one of the most influential figures in global tech, his words transcend UK borders. Other countries are closely watching, questioning whether the UK's approach to online regulation could serve as a model for their own policies. Musk's intervention has sparked a global debate on digital rights, forcing politicians and policymakers to confront difficult questions about balancing security and freedom in the digital age.
I mean, what Elon Musk knows about politics is not a lot. I mean, of course, we have no idea. We're a few months into a...
Because I can't let you just say that and then just skip along, because I don't understand.
This conversation could have far-reaching implications for the management of the internet in the years to come. However, Musk was far from satisfied with the vague criticism of the UK's policies. His next target was none other than Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, who is laying the groundwork for a dramatic confrontation between powerful forces that could shake the political landscape. The comparison between Stalin and Keir Starmer was truly shocking. According to Musk, the similarities between the two were greater than many realised, and this statement sent shockwaves through Westminster, prompting the Labour Party to hastily respond. Musk did not hesitate to harshly criticise Starmer's political record, particularly his recent policy decisions. One of the most controversial proposals was Starmer's inheritance tax plan targeting farmers, which angered the tech billionaire. Musk wasted no time in comparing Starmer's approach to Stalin's regime, warning that such policies could push the UK towards a totalitarian state. Musk's words were no mere casual remark. They struck a chord with the public, who were already disillusioned with Starmer's leadership. Musk's provocative comparison served as a summary of the growing frustration with the Labour Party under Starmer's rule. Social media erupted immediately with reactions ranging from surprise to agreement as people debated the validity of Musk's statement. The political implications of Musk's intervention cannot be overlooked. Polling data paints a grim picture for Starmer, with his net approval rating plummeting to minus 38. This drop has pushed Starmer into negative territory, far from the promising figures he had when he first took the helm of the Labour Party. However, the most notable aspect of this decline is its timing. Starmer's approval rating dropped sharply right after Musk's criticism, suggesting that the tech billionaire's words may have been the tipping point. This event serves as a clear reminder of the growing influence of tech leaders like Musk in shaping political debates. As the dust settles, the question remains whether Starmer can recover from this unexpected attack. Experts say Musk's intervention is a serious warning to the Labour Party. If Starmer fails to address these criticisms and alter his leadership style, his power and the future of the Labour Party will be in serious jeopardy. This confrontation is not just about Starmer and the Labour Party. It opens up a broader discussion on the role of leadership in the digital age, where a tweet from a tech billionaire can completely alter the course of a political career. It is clear that the political landscape in the UK will never be the same again. Elon Musk's unexpected reaction to Keir Starmer and British politics marks a major turning point in the political confrontation. It is not every day that a tech billionaire goes head-to-head with a national political leader, especially when the confrontation takes place on live television. The consequences of this showdown cannot be overlooked, as Starmer's approval rating drops sharply and the public debate reaches a fever pitch. However, beyond the immediate drama, this confrontation also reflects a larger trend: the growing influence of tech leaders in shaping political narratives. Musk's words not only stirred public opinion, but also shifted the entire conversation about British politics and freedom of speech. This is a clear reminder of a reality. In today's interconnected world, the boundaries between technology, business and politics are becoming increasingly blurred. As we follow these events, an important question arises. What does this mean for the future of political discourse? Are we entering an era where tweets and live TV appearances by tech moguls will carry more weight than traditional political campaigns? And more importantly, how will this shift affect the way we choose and evaluate our leaders? This is the moment when everyone concerned with the future of the country must speak up and take action. We cannot allow figures like Starmer to maintain their influence. They will never be able to lead the country in the right direction. Think about this, and if you agree with this view, share your thoughts in the comments section below. Only when we all unite and raise our voices can this discussion spread and capture the attention of more people. Silence is complicity with mistakes, and we cannot allow that to happen. In other news, Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, is racing against time to push through a treaty regarding the Chagos Islands before Donald Trump officially assumes office as President of the United States. Although only a few weeks remain, the deal is causing a wave of controversy not only in the UK, but also in the US. According to information from The Telegraph, the treaty involves returning the Chagos Islands to Mauritius, a matter that is stirring international public opinion. Notably, the United States' support for the deal, despite not being directly involved in the decision, plays a crucial role. The US maintains a strategic military base on Diego Garcia, one of the islands in the Chagos archipelago. This is why the change in the US administration, with Donald Trump stepping into the White House, has led many to fear the treaty could be cancelled or altered. Republican figures, including Nigel Farage, leader of the Reform Party and a close ally of Trump, have strongly opposed the deal. They argue that returning the Chagos Islands could threaten US national security, given Mauritius's strategic partnership with China. And the US cannot allow this to happen. Unwilling to back down, Boris Johnson, who had a close relationship with Trump during his presidency, did not miss the opportunity to criticise Keir Starmer and his government. Johnson not only opposed the agreement, but also condemned the abandonment of sovereignty over the Chagos Islands, calling it a political suicide. He even used harsh terms like shooting oneself in the foot to criticise the Labour Party's move, and referred to those pushing for the deal as left-wing scumbags. The so-called self-harming action Johnson referred to was Starmer's blind willingness to sacrifice national interests for left-wing political goals, without considering the long-term consequences. Despite facing a fierce wave of opposition, Starmer remained determined to honour his commitment and pressed on with negotiations. To finalise the deal before Trump assumed office, Starmer sent his new national security advisor Jonathan Powell to Mauritius to maintain and strengthen consensus. Powell would also soon fly to the US to persuade Trump's allies to continue supporting the deal, in an attempt to minimise any negative impact once Trump took office on January 20th. However, the current situation is far from easy. Uncertainty still looms over the negotiations. If Trump opposes the deal after taking office, there is no guarantee the plan will go ahead as intended. Although Labour holds a majority in the House of Commons, making it easier to pass the agreement, official approval from the UK Parliament remains a significant hurdle, especially since Conservative figures in government and Parliament may try to block it. Additionally, while non-political bodies within the US government, including the Pentagon and the State Department, have expressed support for the deal, there are deep concerns among Conservative politicians. In particular, the future of the military base on Diego Garcia, as the agreement requires the island to remain under British control for at least another 99 years, is likely to face strong opposition from many political forces, both domestically and internationally. Boris Johnson has continuously condemned those advocating for the return of the Chagos Islands, claiming that these individuals not only despise the British imperial legacy but also wish to erase all traces of the colonial past. He called it a scandal and criticised the left-wing political forces driving the agreement. According to Johnson, these individuals are engaging in foolish actions that serve no benefit and are even self-sabotaging in a high-risk political game. On the UK government's side, a spokesperson stated that their position on the Chagos issue remains unchanged. The government confirmed that it would continue to work closely with the new Mauritian government and is finalising the necessary legal details to approve the agreement in the coming year.